Okay, you're going to get it. You ask for something good, you're going to get it. But God is gentle and loving and kind. And He knows us. Remember, He knows us. And He knows what we can and cannot overcome. He knows our weaknesses. He knows when we're going to be ready and when we're not. And He'll give us peace in the meantime. We're all sinners, but there's only two types of sinners. Ones that recognize, hey, there's a better way here. I don't like this, doesn't make me feel good. And I feel contrite about it and humbled about it. And I see it as a weakness. Okay? But through God's amazing grace, He can give me a sense of peace of mind. And still I see I'm honoring God. I'm glorifying God. Even in my sin, it's like the Bible says. It says, all sin is legal for me, but it's not profitable. Okay, it doesn't benefit us. And we need to confess it and admit that and have a sense of contrition. Because the only other kind of sinner out there is one that revels in their sin and delights in it and just, wow, yeah, man, I got it going on. This is the way to be, man. I'm a male stripper. I'm well hung, and I let the ladies. I mean, to me, it's unspeakable what you hear goes on at some of these bachelorette. Not all of them, but it's disgusting. If I was getting married, my wife's not. Baby, you get it out of your system first. You want to be married to me? All your exes, no. Sorry, you guys didn't make it. You're with me now. You're devoted to me. All of them are gone. You're done with the hocus pocus. With hey, look but don't touch. And I mean, I don't want her being around those kind of guys. I can't see it. I mean, every guy thinks, wow, that'd be cool, man. Being a male stripper, and how erotic is that? But I mean, it's disgusting. It's repugnant. It's repulsive. And the idea of some woman that's going to be married to me, the last thing she does is go into an event like that. No, 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 no. No, baby. I'm the only male stripper you're getting from here on out. And don't come near me, okay, unless you're ready for that. I say, that old adage, hey, you know, why should the guy buy the cow when he gets the milk for free? Well, that applies to men too, okay? And the bulls shouldn't be out there giving away the milk, okay, without a commitment. That's what it's about, a commitment. And if a guy that's poor happens to fall in love with a woman that's rich, hey, I believe that this whole idea of a what do they call it, a thing that protects your assets. The I mean, it's a household. Everybody knows the term I'm trying to think of. I just can't. But it's the one that allows you, hey, you know what? I mean, you marry me, don't expect to walk away with any assets. What I had when we went into this marriage, it's all mine, baby. So that's how it could be, because that would eliminate the suspicion, right? So a lot more, we'd start marrying outside our classes more. If it was just automatic that you had that clause in there. Why can't I remember the name? It's like, whatever you do in life, folks, don't grow old, okay? Because your brain doesn't quite function like it used to. Maybe I ought to be taking more B complex like I'm always preaching about. But anyhow, the keep your assets clause, right? I know I'm going to think of it later. I'm going to go, how could I not think about that clause that protects your assets in a marriage? But people would marry outside their classes, and there'd be no suspicion. I think a lot more relationships would work out if you went into the marriage with that. That's what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. Just eliminate that as a source of conflict, because it's powerful. We all know it is. I mean, money, you cannot underestimate the power of Satan, the power of money, one and the same, and the power of these purveyors of madness out there that just tell you, hey, you can't fix your problems. They're overwhelming. So anyhow, I digress, because I got away from the categories, because I wanted to name some of the artificial things that bug me, the invented things that bug me. And it is things like desperate poverty, homelessness, injustice, unnecessary, that is to say, dubious wars, as opposed to necessary wars, and all the crime that's induced by and fueled by desperate poverty. So, yeah, those are a few. So, I'm just naming a few of the organic things that bug me and the inorganic things. The inorganic things are solvable because they're created for a reason. And it's to steal. Okay, these are the slaver class at the very top of this perverted pyramid of power. Okay, that's who they are. They're mean people. That's who they are. And that's why they get their way, because they don't value the things that normal godly people, because if you gravitate toward your godly nature, you're going to find the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. God is with you. He loves you. And he's just saying, you know what? You're precious treasure. You're equally beloved with every other person on the face of this earth. Believe it or not, my friend, that's truth. That's from the horse's mouth. I know that's how he feels about you. Remember that. And think of what good news that is to people. Okay? And teaching life, not death, the way this world teaches. So that's good news. That's what a believer has to offer. With this much faith, you can believe that. The way Jesus taught, okay, he conflated death with sleep. Now, isn't that good news to anybody that's living with absolute remorse? We got what, some 20 troops a day are committing suicide, something like that. The statistics are mind-blowing. It's horrible. So to be able to bring them that information, and if you believe this much, then you'll say it in a convincing manner. You'll stand on the truth. We're told to go boldly before his throne, and that's not always how the righteous feel. We don't feel so bold. We feel about 2 inches tall. We're fallible, all of us. We get weak. And we fail, and we stumble, and we fall. We let ourselves down. We let God down by extension. We let humanity down by further extension. We let everybody down, and it doesn't feel good. We always want to be strong. Our spirits want to soar with the eagles, but the flesh is weak. And it causes a schism. It's a dichotomy. It's a paradox. And only God can help us to sort these things out and to deal with them. But we could go boldly before his throne and tell people, look, you are making a choice to believe in death or not believe in death. It's that simple. It's that cut and dried. That's it. It's your choice with this much faith. Okay? You understand? I mean, there was a time when Jesus' friend, this guy Lazarus, had died. Okay, and Jesus, some people that came to notify him. Everybody was walking around to get to places back then, so it was a long, slow process. But Jesus came. He said, Jesus, you know what? If you had come when we asked you to, when he was first sick, he wouldn't have died. But now he's dead, so would you please come back and, whatever, say goodbye to our friend and all that sort of thing, right? But Jesus said, look, Lazarus is not dead, but asleep for a purpose, because God was going to glorify Jesus through this act, okay, of raising him up from the dead. But they didn't understand. They didn't believe it. Their lack of faith, absolutely. But they didn't even know they had absolutely no faith to believe that God ultimately has control over life and death, that he can as easily give you a new and vastly atomically superior body than the one you have right now, okay, just like that. I mean, that's what having this much faith will show you. That's the nature of God. That's the power of God. Okay? That's his will for you. He gave you your 5 senses. He gave you existence. He gave you life. He gave you everything good. And he's not a mean God. He's not just going to take it back. He's not a traitor. Okay? He's going to let you keep it for all eternity. He just wants you to know him, have the right values, have a lot of things in common. You'll never lose your individuality. It's not about religion. It's about relationship and understanding and going forth and preaching the good news to people, teaching them the nature and character of God is clear, cut, and dry, and there's no equivocation about it, and what his will for us is. Okay, and there is no death. Not in reality. It's sleep. That's what it is. So isn't that good news to somebody that's remorseful for having taken somebody's life? To believe it. Believe it on the basis of logic and reason. not conjecture, not wishful thinking, but just establishing there's got to be a God. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's so stupid to believe. Everything happened it was happenstance. It was a quirk, just a fluke. And everything's replete in the gender, opposite sex. It's God, that's a stupid thing to say. I'm sorry, please. I don't mean to offend atheists, unbelievers, pagans,